there is a serious issue about free and fairness of the election that we are watching. And I'm not even talking about the state of Indian media, the very shameful manner in which the mainstream media has gone about being the ambassador of the ruling party.
Okay, so you're saying that, this could be the last free and fair election. Do you think this will be a free and fair election?
I must confess that I'm not entirely convinced. Just imagine a football match. An election is, after all, a match. Imagine a football match where 2 hours before the match, referees are changed. Not one, but two referees are changed. That's
From
what
the committee.
happened here. Two election commissions are changed. One election commissioner who was going to become the chief election commissioner resigns under mysterious circumstances. We don't know who said what to him. He suddenly resigned one day and disappeared. Two, imagine that in the course of that match, suddenly water supply and nutrition of the other team is switched off. That's exactly what has happened. Congress party accounts have been frozen. Same is the case with CPI. Accounts, income tax cases, which are 30-year-old, are being opened. Ever heard of things of this kind? Number three, if that was not sufficient, you drag some players of the opposition team out of the ground. That's exactly what has happened. Hemant
Right.
Soren, Arvind Kejriwal, and so many smaller politicians have been taken away. So is that free and fair? I must confess that I say this with enormous sense of shame, because I used to be a kind of a self-appointed ambassador of Indian democracy all over the world. If you go and search YouTube,
Yes, of
you
course.
would find my lectures given in Canada, in US, all over the world, telling them that, look, Indian democracy is no less than, your kind of democracy. I really wish I didn't have to say things of this kind, but such is the reality. And on top of it, we cannot be sure of what the EVM might do. So there is a problem.
Okay, so EVM, of course, that's another issue. I did have spoken to someone from the State Election Commission of Maharashtra, and I did question them about the EVMs, and they did, well, they assured that their EVMs are tamper proof because it's not connected to any sort of, um, you know, internet as such. So it's very difficult to really hack and get into. But that's a whole separate issue. You're saying that this election possibly is not free and fair because we have many opposition leaders in jail. We have many people who have switched parties in the very last minute.
People changing parties is all right. They have right to do so. People changing party on the eve of elections is also a routine thing in India. But people changing parties when there's a gun on their head saying either change parties or ED comes or IT comes or this would happen. That is what we are speaking about. And as for EVM, this is a false claim. I say it with all sense of responsibility. It is false to say that our EVMs are not connected to anything external. And for a very simple reason, which even a non-technical person like you and me can understand. Remember, there is a VVPAT. Remember, VVPAT has a symbol. It prints the name of the candidate. If it is not connected to any external device, how does VVPAT know what is the name of the candidate? How does VVPAT know the symbol of the candidate? I mean, this is humbug. Obviously, there is a symbol loading software. And the problem is that symbol loading software is not made public. Its protocols are not made public. And when symbol loading takes place, the opposition is not there. They are not allowed to examine the voting machines after the symbol has been loaded. So there is a serious issue about free and fairness of the election that we are watching. And I'm not even talking about the state of Indian media, the very shameful manner in which the mainstream media has gone about being the ambassador of the ruling party.